My name is Jack Rome, and I'm glad to welcome you to Meet the Speaker, a series with speakers from the upcoming 3-day online immersive conference, The Infinite I Am Awakening Beyond Identity in a World on Fire, taking place from November 14th to 16th. This series is designed just to give you a brief taste, really, of the direct experience that you can expect from each session during the conference. Oliver Blue is a spiritual teacher and transformational coach. Oliver's inspired message, truly, the real you loves you, is the foundation for helping others get unstuck and create a life of happiness and fulfillment. Oliver has brought a unique voice and an effective, practical approach to helping others break free from a state of being stuck to a life of freedom, growth, expansion, and expression. So, Oliver's conference session is titled Shifting from Identification to the Awareness of Being.
Well, first of all, thank you, Jack, for hosting this. And I'm so excited about the upcoming conference and just so much gratitude for Bill Free and the Pure Presence Conference and his whole team and Center for Awakening. And they somehow seem to get it right every year with these conferences in terms of the theme and how the theme really relates to like where we are like as an evolving species as humanity and so just excited to be a part of it and this theme of the awakening beyond identity in a world on fire. It seems like everything is burning and on fire in the moment in the outer spaces and places. However, it is in this context that I think there's an inward call for all humanity, right? To wake up, right? To find out, what is really important in this moment. And I think uh, finding that infinite I am self, right, is the answer that we're all looking for, knowingly or unknowingly. And so, um, the, you know, as I thought about, how can I contribute, to the overall theme, what came to mind to me is what I think all of us can relate to, and that is that we've been on this human journey, and we've attached ourselves with so many, covered ourselves or identified ourselves with so many of the outer symbols of life, and just trying to discover uh, the answer to it all. Who am I? What am I? Why am I? And I think that identification really has right done the opposite thing that we thought it would do for us, because a lot of spiritual teachers talks about, we need to know who we are, we need to know our identity. But I think more and more from my own experience, identification really just connects us with uh, the symbols of this world, the identities of this world, and it really don't lead us to the ultimate place of peace, which is our natural state of being, right? And so as I prepared my session for this, I think that a shift needs to happen to all of us, whether you're asleep or whether you're awake. There needs to be this universal shift where we really like understand that all these things that have identified or that we identify ourselves to has really become just another block to the awareness of who we really are, right? And so making this shift from identification, which really to me is more of a dualistic idea, right? It promotes duality, it promotes separation, right? This and that, or this or that, but ultimately, the shift needs to be made, or as we evolve, I think the idea of moving or shifting from this concept of identification, which really has to do with all of our past experiences, right? We either identify with them, or we we reject them, and move to this place that is always present in in the sense that this oneness that we share, this one reality that we share, and I just like to use the word being, which is the most natural thing that we can do, or the most natural way we can express ourselves is just by being, versus the dualistic concept of identification, right? Because all of us get laden with these different identifications over time. We're male, we're female, we have this nationality, we are a Course in Miracles student, we're a non-duality, we're Christian, we're Buddhist, and so we even as awakened uh, beings, I would say that most that come to this community consider themselves have had some type of um, transformation. Really, we, without knowing, kind of find ourselves still, even within these communities, still focus more on our outward identities more so than the natural state, our natural state of being, which I call love. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in my 90-minute session. And this is a very, very passionate area for me. And I think it really kind of will point us or open the door to even greater awareness for those that are coming to the conference, whether you be a newcomer or you've been at these conferences over the years. I think, what's going to happen in these 3 days is that the level of sharing will be so that everyone will be like, it will touch everyone wherever they are or wherever you think that you are. I think these presenters and this experience will meet everyone that comes and join in on these 3 days. So that's kind of a little bit about where I'm going in my messaging, and so um, I invite anyone that uh, resonate with what my vibe is, or my messaging is, to come and join us in that 90-minute session, which will be held on the last day of the conference on that Sunday afternoon. Yeah. So that's kind of it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, both your perspective and kind of the way that the teaching works for you and how it will work at the conference. I was really touched when you were listing off the different spiritual identities that a person might come across, and I realize none of us are alone in this experience of perhaps for a while in that sort of identity sandbox. You're like collecting spiritual identities, and every
Yes.
single one at first seems like it's helping you, and then you realize that is yet another block to being, to shared being.
It can become another block.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Just because I mean, who we are in reality is undescribable. And the moment that we identify with anything, body identification, spiritual identification, political identification, all of these things become really blocks to just us experiencing ourselves, or just being ourselves, right? Because naturally, as the Course in Miracles says, we remain as we were created, and we were created not only in love but by love. That we are these expressions of love in form, right? And the moment you put a label on any of that, then it becomes a limitation. Then it becomes something, another hurdle that you got to get over, right? Because all of these, uh, all of these identifications really are very temporal, right? They never get you to the place of peace. Maybe momentarily, but the ultimate experience of our true self is just being, right? Because it never changes. It's always present, and it's just a matter of making that shift. In most cases, the mental shift to aligning our thought processes with that never changes, that never comes and goes, that which is infinite, has no birth, no death, but just reality. And reality is just as natural as breathing. right? So it is this effortless acceptance of what is always present, and that is love, and that is who you are, and that's who we all are, and this is what we all share, right? This one being, not like there's multiple beings, but there's just one being. We all share this one being, right? And I think that is the ultimate awakening, the ultimate enlightenment, the ultimate, recognition, because it is but recognition, as the course said. Enlightenment is no more than a recognition of what already is. So we're going to help we're going to help all of us uncomplicate what we have complicated in our life and on our journey in this session. So come join me.
Again, to anyone tuning in, it's the Infinite I Am Conference. It's November 14th to 16th, so very soon. And it's more of this. You can actually register for free, by the way, at purepresenceconferences.com. And we really hope to see you there. Oliver, thank you so much for your time, for giving us this little taste, and looking forward to those 90 minutes with you.
Well, thank you, Jack. And again, it's fast approaching, and I'm very excited and can't wait
Awesome.
for it to happen. So
Wonderful.
come on, we invite everyone.